Hello everyone. In today's video, I'm going to talk about a play called King Lear, which is by William Shakespeare. First, I will discuss background of the play and then the summary. The full title of the play is The Tragedy of King Lear. It was published in 1608. The genre under which it falls is tragedy. This play belongs to Renaissance time period. The setting is Christian England. The story has been told from two perspectives, one from King Lear's account and the other from Earl of Gloucester's perspective. Both the storyline runs parallel throughout the play. In one of the scenes, Regan and Duke of Cornwall place Kent in stocks as a mark of disrespect towards him and King Lear. It is to be noted that in those times, stocks were worn only by common criminals as a punishment. Kent was publicly humiliated, and even King Lear also felt insulted by this event. The common themes are old age, familial relations, madness, loyalty, and emotional distress. Now, let us come on to the summary part. King Lear decides to hold a public ceremony where he asks his three daughters to declare their love for him. The two older daughters, Goneril and Regan, each of them profess that they love him greatly. Each of the daughters receive a third of Lear's kingdom. King Lear's youngest daughter, Cordelia, refuses to flatter her father and did not take part in the ceremony. Infuriated by her actions, King Lear decides not to pay for her dowry and divides the remaining third part of the kingdom between Goneril and Regan. The King of France is one of Cordelia's suitors. He accepts Cordelia as his wife without any dowry. Ostracized by her father, Cordelia goes to France and becomes queen. When Earl of Kent raises his voice against the treatment Cordelia was meted with, King Lear banishes him as well. In the meanwhile, Edmund convinces his father that Edgar is planning conspiracy against him and Gloucester gives order to expel Edgar from his kingdom. Edgar, disguised as a mad beggar, calls himself Poor Tom so that he can stay in the kingdom. Kent is still loyal to King Lear, disguised as Caius in order to serve his king. King Lear plans to divide his remaining years living with his two elder daughters, accompanied by 100 knights. But neither of his daughter wants him to live in their home, and both of them makes plan to cast him out. At first, both Goneril and Regan objects to King Lear and his knights' conduct and raises the question as to why so many knights are serving him. When Kent tries to discipline Oswald, Goneril's steward, she and her husband punish Kent by putting him in the stocks. When both his daughters suggest to put aside all his 100 knights, King Lear gets angry and rages off into the night. Lear roams in a storm, accompanied by the fool. When Kent finds Lear, he immediately comes to help him. After his two elder daughters' betrayal, King Lear's mind goes into turmoil and he begins to go mad. King Lear, Kent, and the fool are taking shelter from the storm in a hut. Edgar, who is disguised as poor Tom, joins them. Cordelia is secretly informed about her father's situation by Kent. Edmund sees an opportunity of gaining his inheritance more quickly when he is informed by Gloucester that French forces have landed in England to help in restoring King Lear to the throne. But Edmund tells Regan, Goneril, and their husbands that Gloucester is on the French forces' side. After Duke of Cornwall, Regan's husband, comes to know about the landing of French forces in England, he and Regan punish Gloucester by gouging out his eyes. One of the servants of Cornwall's is so disappointed by this tragic event that he tries to stop them. He wounds Cornwall fatally, but in the end he is also killed. Gloucester is left alone to wander in the countryside. One of the peasants helps Gloucester, and then Edgar takes over the task of helping his father. Gloucester asks Edgar to take him to the high cliffs so that he can commit suicide. Edgar agreed, but he takes his father to a low ledge and tricks him into thinking that he has survived a great fall. Goneril and her husband, Duke of Albany, quarrel with each other, and Goneril accuses her husband of cowardice. While both are fighting, a messenger informs them that the Duke of Cornwall is no longer alive. When Duke of Albany questions the messenger, he learns that Cornwall was killed as he was responsible for blinding Gloucester. He praises Gloucester's loyalty. This reveals to the audience that Duke of Albany is loyal to King Lear, hence finalizing his split with his wife Goneril. Cordelia returns from France and takes care of her father as the battle takes place between French forces who supports King Lear and rebel forces led by Edmund and backed by Regan and Goneril. During this turmoil period, King Lear is able to regain most of his sanity. Edmund's forces captures both King Lear and Cordelia. They both are sent to prison, and Edmund orders his servant to kill them. The Duke of Albany charges Edmund with betraying the king and says that he is ready to get in a combat with him. A knight volunteers to get into a fight with Edmund. The knight wins the combat, hurting Edmund mortally. The knight is revealed to be Edgar, Edmund's brother. Gloucester soon dies after hearing this. Edmund also dies a few moments later. A servant comes to reveal that Goneril has poisoned Regan and killed herself. King Lear enters the scene carrying Cordelia. Lear's fool are dead, and King Lear has killed the man who executed Cordelia. Lear dies out of grief. Duke of Albany tells Kent and Edgar that they will rule the kingdom till the order is restored. So yes, here ends the video. If you liked the video, then don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you for watching.